First thing that comes to your head, please. Favorite food?
Steak.
Steak.
Ribeye.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Chicken Parmesan.
I'm a seafood guy. I'd say fish, salmon, shrimp, scallops, crabs, all that good stuff.
That's too complicated. You gotta be like, favorite comedy, favorite documentary, favorite.
I had to say Free Guy. Just watched it, so it's the first thing that popped in my mind.
Movie? That's tough. Sandlot. First thing that comes to my mind, Sandlot.
Mully.
12 Angry Men.
Any sports movie, really. Just big sports person.
Kung Fu Panda. Why Kung Fu Panda?
One. The OG. Always. Skadoosh.
Now you put me in a hard spot. I've been a Rudest for about 7 months. You know, if I'm being completely honest, I'd probably say the A6JB4. But now, probably the Rudest Alpha is my favorite shoe.
KS Infinity or KS Turbine, man.
Probably the OG Rulons.
A6JB. The Nike Takedown.
Adidas, Combat Speeds probably.
I don't know enough wrestling shoes to have one, honestly.
I don't really have anything. Honestly, just go out and let it rip.
I would have to say nothing, just because there's always going to be something you're going to be left without, so I just try not to focus on that part.
I don't think there's anything I can't compete without. I think I'm pretty much good. Oh, no, I have to have long socks. I can't do the short. I don't know how people do like the socks you don't see.
I would say a fresh pair of socks. I need a fresh pair, Cruise, all white, no logos. That's probably my go-to that most people never talk about, right? You always talk about the sock pool, but it always has to be a crispy pair.
I like competing with a mouth guard. I actually lost my mouth guard in the swimming pool yesterday.
Well, I would say, water for sure. You need to be hydrated.
I mean, probably being a state champ in high school. Right? Once you get to the international level, like you work tirelessly for this. But in high school, from the moment you first step on the mat and strap up a pair of shoes, your goal is always to be a state champion, right? To be on the varsity team, to get your name in the paper, and to get that sweet varsity jacket. So that was my goal for like the first 10, 11 years of my career. So I'd probably say being a state champ in Jersey.
Only time I ever cried after winning a wrestling match was in 2015 after the World Championships in Vegas against Kadisov, and that was, it was crazy because I took second at the NCAAs like 6 months before, and then ended up being a world champ and wrestling somebody that I really looked up to and just thought was a really good wrestler. So it's crazy to beat somebody like that.
Probably my first wrestling tournament ever. Walked in with shorts and a t-shirt, no wrestling shoes, first match. But I gave a kid a bloody nose, so I was pretty hype about giving a kid a bloody nose.
Probably winning a world title and winning a team title as well.
Winning a bronze medal in the Olympics.
Man, there's a lot, but I'd say as of right now, winning NCAAs has been pretty awesome.
I'm gonna say Gwiz, just because he eats whatever he wants, and I'm not sure what those farts are gonna smell like.
I think that I could be with pretty much anybody. If I had to pick someone, it would probably be Gilman, just because we've battled in the past, and it might get a little awkward.
I haven't really roomed with many of the people. Right now I'm with Zane, and he's a wonderful guy. I don't know, if someone's messy, I probably wouldn't want to room with them.
Jaden, because the dude does not sleep.
Honestly, I'd probably say Jaden because he stays up so late.
It's funny because I room with the World Championships in Oslo is Jaden Cox. He doesn't sleep, he's up all night. You peer over in the middle of the night, you can always see the brights from his cell phone screen up at no matter what time of night it is.
I'd be surprised if I told you pretty much everybody said you, because you don't sleep.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised at all. I walk around. But the thing is, though, is I'll get up and walk around. Like I won't, so I understand not wanting to be with me.
Gilman makes me laugh a lot, but he has no effort in trying to make me laugh.
I'd say I'm one of the funniest guys, and then I also think Gilman. Low key though, you got to know him to realize he's funny, but he's got a lot of good stories and jokes.
I'd go Zahid or Kyle Dake.
I'd probably say Zahid. He's a funny guy.
I mean, it's a good group of guys. I feel like all of them could crack jokes and stuff.
I gotta go with JB for me. I just get his sense of humor pretty well.
the funniest guys that I've been around, Tervel Delagnev, Reese Humphrey, JD Bergman, like those guys were funny. This group, guys tell jokes, right? They're fun. I would say they're fun, but not necessarily funny. I don't know.
Gotta be me. Who's the loudest? Nick doesn't say anything. Dayton doesn't say anything. Jaden's can get loud.
I'm probably one of the loudest guys as well. And then Jaden. Jaden's pretty loud too, yeah.
Thomas Gilman.
Zahid does not say a word.
I don't know. I say I'm pretty loud for the most part.
Dacre or Snyder probably talk the most. Yeah.
Biggest presence, loudest? Dave.
Shoot, gotta be me.
I would say Dake or Gilman.
Probably Cox or Dake, one of the two.
Well, I've seen JB reading a book. I've seen Joey reading a book. I mean, I've talked to Zane about books. So I mean,
Surprisingly, I think, I'm only saying this, I think people would be surprised at Gilman. Like Gilman has a lot of knowledge that I don't think people like, you just don't ask him, so you don't think about it.
Thomas is pretty high IQ. Joey's really high IQ.
Joey's probably the only guy that wears glasses on the team. I don't know, so we were just talking about, he slicks his hair back, he wears his specs.
Me.
I think it's coming down to Jaden and Gwiz. I'm gonna go with Gwiz.
Probably Dake. I mean, yeah, he's shredded, or Jordan. I mean, Jordan's just a star, you know. He likes to be, that's kind of his scene, you know, so.
I'd say JB.
I would have to say JB. He's always got the swag.
I don't know, I would probably say, me. I like being behind the camera, so I'd like to do that.
Jaden Cox.
You know what? I'll take one for the team. It'll be me.
You know, hopefully everybody would have my back, but probably, you know, the bigger guys are the guys that you want to have your back for sure, you know, so Squiz, Snyder, Cox, all of them.
Jaden would be someone I'd be like, he got really mad. If he wasn't like trying to be a pacifist and like calm it down and get like ramped up, he'd be good. I mean, Kyle and Gwiz too. And then Gilman, he's a firecracker. He'll make the first move. He's probably got like some really good tactics.
Kyle Snyder.
I mean, Gwiz, that dude's massive, you know. I for sure have him.
Gilman, he's tough. He's got a silent confidence that like, if you spend any time around him, it's like, this is not a dude you want to mess with. He's willing to die.
But if you ask me, who would I not want to be? And like, I know that one point blank. Kyle Snyder. I do not want him on. Like, I love him, you know, but we've had talks and he's like, you know, very religious and everything. And he's like, I wouldn't throw punches. I would just try to keep people. I like put like, Kyle, what if there's like 4 or 5 people and they're jumping me and like, you're the only one that can help me? He's like, I'm going to pull them off you. I'm like, so you're going to pull one off at a time and then try to, he's like, we're going to run. I'm like, Kyle, I'm already beaten up. Like, what? It's like, I can't run. Like, I'm beaten up. Like, you got to help me, you know? And I love him for it because it is who he is. But that also lets me know, like, if it comes down to it, like, nah, I need somebody else.
I'd say Jaden.
It's a tough one. I'm trying to get a word that encompasses all the other words.
Friend, brother, yeah.
Thoughtful.
Leader.
Great.
Passionate.
Like, genuine, you know? I feel like he's like genuinely cares about the guys and wants the best for us. And not just as a wrestling team, you know? I mean, he wants us to compete our best, but it doesn't feel like he wants it because he necessarily wants you to compete your best. He wants it because you've desired it for yourself, you know? I think he's pretty genuine, so I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, he's a lot of things to me. You know, I've known Bill since I arrived on the scene, in his roles as developmental coach at the OTC. You know, he's got a great presence about him. I would say, like, stoic. Like he's unflappable. He rarely gets overly excited. He rarely gets extremely angry or upset. Like, you can't really rattle him. And that's one thing I appreciate about him. You don't have to be a rah-rah guy to assemble the troops and get them in order and aligned and ready to fire on all cylinders. He does a really good job at organizing the team. He's got a great relationship with everyone. He's very diplomatic, shows no favorites, but makes sure that the best team is always presented to the world. So that's one thing I can appreciate about him.